Hello, fellow safety and health professional, and welcome to another podcast in a series of podcasts based on an article in Safety and Health magazine that's all about you. The human voice is the most diverse and powerful sound-driven organic communication device on Earth. I know that's a mouthful, and it also is a bold statement saying that like the most diverse thing on the planet that produces sound is the human voice. Considering the variety of creatures that can communicate using howls, clicks, whistles, meows, sonar, etc., there's so many. But our voices have something unique about them because they can mold words and sentences with symbolic meanings, which sets our speaking apart from the rest of the animal kingdom. And how we say something can drastically change the meaning of our message. I mean, even slight variations in our voice can make what would seem like a compliment by the words spoken into a sarcastic remark. For example, if I said, "I really like that shirt," all right, fine, that's a compliment. But if I said, "Yeah, I really like that shirt," then I'm teasing you or telling you I don't like that shirt or making fun of the shirt. So our ability to use variety in our voice is just absolutely amazing. And mastering your voice is a skill that will increase your influence, make you more likable as a safety professional, increase the effectiveness of your communications in a wide variety of situations. Of course, as a professional speaker, I've been one for many years, I've spent many hours working on improving the quality and persuasiveness of my voice. I've even had coaches so that my voice will sound pleasing to you and also that I can control it. It's like having singing, having somebody help you sing better. Well, you'll do this well to do the same even if you're not a professional speaker or something like that, because you still do a bunch of things in your life that involve your voice, and the power of it and the persuasiveness of it will make a difference. All right, consider how your voice comes into play if you do any of the following. Interact with employees on job sites, which may include pre-job briefings or giving instructions during inspections. Conducting safety and health meetings. I mean, you're actually presenting at that point. Chairing or being a member of a safety committee. Giving formal training like confined space, fall protection, lockout, tagout. I did so many respiratory protection classes, and it really made a difference that I had a voice that was interesting and influential. Root cause incident investigations, which often require a committee to meet and discuss stuff. Giving safety update presentations to managers or other executives. I used to have to go up to Newark, New Jersey, like once a month, I guess, or so, or a quarter maybe, and then give a presentation to all these, executives about how our safety program is doing. So certainly my voice and ability to control it matters. Now, this list isn't inclusive of all the times the quality and control of your voice matters. Hey, even when you're at a party with friends, having a more pleasing and engaging voice will improve your chances of being the life of the party, right? Or at least people enjoying your company. Well, here are 3 aspects of my voice I work on, along with a few tips that I found to be helpful. I'll demonstrate these tips too. I'll show you how they work. All right, there's 3 main parts to your voice. One is the pitch. This is the up and down. Like, listen how high my pitch is now, or how low my pitch is, right? This is the up and down sounds of your voice. It's the melody of your words, really. That's what it is. When we're excited or happy, "Oh, honey, I'm so glad." We tend to have a higher speaking voice, pitch. When we're serious or sad, "Oh, my goodness, I can't believe that happened." It's lower. It tends to be. And that's a signal that gets sent. So, if something you are describing is lighthearted or about details that add to the story or the training but are not vital, it helps to speak on a little bit higher pitch. And you want that because of contrast. Let me give you an example. I'm going to say I'm giving a session about lockout, tagout. So here's some information that's important but not the most significant. We have lockout tagout procedures based on OSHA standards, and they are designed to prevent injury from energy sources. Now that's important to know, but it's not something that you really want to drill deep into your audience's memory. So here would be something where you'd want to say that stuff about the standards and have a higher pitch, and then when you get to this, lower your pitch. And we'll see, we'll get to this, and even pause. Never work on a piece of equipment unless you have turned off the power, put your lock on the open breaker, or the machine's on-off power device. Now you see how that's lower. That's a lower pitch. Not crazy lower, but lower enough that, all right, this is something serious this person is telling me. Now, one more point about pitch. A monotone voice is a boring voice, unless you were speaking that way for comedic purposes. There was that teacher that was in Ridge Point High. You might not have seen the movie, but anyway, he speaks and he became famous for it. He speaks in this monotone voice. And sometimes I'll do that about something, but only because I'm trying to be funny. All right, power. Power is the resonance, the fullness of your voice. And power matters because it makes your voice more pleasant and it also gives it more authority. And my best advice for this is to learn to speak while you are breathing from your diaphragm, not from your thoracic area, not from your upper chest. Now, I went to college for theater for a while, and I toured with acting companies, musical acting companies, and we used to practice this regularly. So it's become natural for me, even now I'm doing this podcast, to speak from my diaphragm. That's your belly. It's like they call it, belly breathing. I certainly don't have enough time to give you, or we're not together, to show you how to do this exactly. You can lay on the floor and talk while you're laying down on the floor. That's one way to force yourself to breathe from your belly and talk. But there's plenty of apps, videos about how to speak from your diaphragm, how to breathe from your diaphragm, basically is what you're doing. I highly recommend, unless you already do it well, to do that. There's one other thing about this that is helpful. If you give a lot of training, speaking from your diaphragm helps your voice not get tired or for you to have problems with it. I've had times where I've been days of training and I was still able to maintain my voice fairly well and one of the reasons was because being very hydrated and speaking from my diaphragm. Third part of your voice that you can control, which I think this is my favorite because it's so easy to do this and have a more powerful impact. And that's your pace, the rhythm of your voice. How fast you go. Like right now I'm talking about my pace is speed up, or how slow I go. Now I'm slowing it down. Staccato, I can do it like this. I mean, there's so many ways you can. It's like your voice is a drum, One of the best ways to improve the power of what you say in the sense that people remember is to use what renowned orator Winston Churchill, remember during World War II, would do, is to purposely include long pauses. He did that in his speeches right before you say something that's really important. Now, you don't want to be crazy long. I mean, I have done that for effect and for humor. But in general, right before you say something that's really important, pause a beat or two, a little longer than you normally do. Let me give you an example here. If I went back to that part where I said make sure you turn off the power and have a lock on a lockout, tagout, equipment, I would say, so da-da-da-da, here we're doing this. You make sure you go get the permit and do whatever, call and da-da-da. Make sure, see how I did that pause? Make sure that's what you want to do. And what I'll do is if I have a talk, I'll pick out 3 or 4 things, or if I give a training session, I'll pick out more than 3 or 4 if it's all day, where I really want the audience to remember it and to notice it. And either I don't do it as much now, but I used to put marks in if I had any notes, or I would just, practice it. And then right before I said that important point, I would put a little bit longer than usual pause. Well, here's a final point. Recording your voice, I don't like doing this, but I do it. Why I don't like it? Because I always am so negative about myself. Oh, that's horrible. I should have done this. I should have done that. But anyway, the best way for you to really learn to get better with your voice, and you can do it so easily now, record your voice, pretend like you're giving a training session, and record it. Then objectively evaluate your pitch, power, and pace. If you really want to get better, hire a coach or get somebody who knows what they're doing about voice, and you help them with yourself objectively evaluate your recordings. I don't know any better way that will give you insight into improving your amazing sound device.